Iran is in headlines again as the 47th president decides to dip out of the G7 early. And I am already hearing fear and propaganda that is not accurate. So I wrote this essay in hopes that we consider what the truth might really be. In a world obsessed with weapons, borders, and dominance, I find myself asking a question that should never feel radical. What do we actually stand for? Do we believe in freedom for all people, or only for those who look, live, and govern like us? As tensions mount between the United States and Iran over nuclear capability, the answer to that question grows clearer and more troubling. Let me be upfront. I don't want anyone to have nuclear weapons. Not Iran, not Israel, not North Korea, not the United States. I believe nuclear arms are a failure of imagination and empathy, evidence that we're invested more in domination than in diplomacy. But I also believe we can't ethically tell other nations not to pursue what we already possess and have used, especially not after we've actively sabotaged diplomatic efforts to prevent it. To understand the current crisis with Iran, we have to look back. Iran has long struggled with autonomy, particularly in the face of Western interference. In 1953, the United States and the United Kingdom orchestrated a coup to overthrow Iran's democratically elected prime minister after he nationalized the country's oil. In his place, we installed the Shah, who ruled the authoritarian force for 26 years. The 1979 Iranian Revolution was not an attack on freedom. It was a people's attempt to reclaim it. Iran's history is one of rich cultural legacy and repeated resistance to domination, not blind aggression. Fast forward to 2015, and this is important, when the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, also known as the Iranian nuclear deal, was signed by Iran, the US, and other global powers. Then Iran agreed to limit its nuclear program and to submit to international inspections in exchange for relief from economic sanctions. For years, Iran complied. Then came Donald Trump. In 2018, without cause, Trump unilaterally pulled the United States out of the deal. He didn't do it because Iran broke the agreement. They hadn't. He did it because it was Obama's deal. Because dismantling diplomacy had won him political points. Because fear and chaos serve authoritarian power. After breaking the deal, Trump reimposed sanctions that devastated Iran's economy and undermined trust in U.S. negotiations. The country that broke the agreement, the United States, is now demanding accountability from the one that upheld it. That would be Iran, the one that upheld it. How do we call this justice? This is where the moral argument collapses. The United States holds thousands of nuclear warheads. We are the only nation to ever use them in war. We sell weapons to regimes committing genocide. And yet, we lecture others about restraint. We position ourselves as the moral compass of the world while actively dismantling peace deals and profiting from global instability. We are not leading. We are bullying. And we're doing it under the guise of freedom. Let's be honest, the United States doesn't fear a nuclear Iran because of global safety. We fear a sovereign Iran, a powerful Iran, an Iran that can't be coerced, bought, or invaded without consequence. We don't want a world where other countries get to define their own futures. We want a world where we remain in control of them. But empathy doesn't work that way. Justice doesn't work that way. If we actually believed in peace, we'd lead with our actions, not with threats. We would dismantle our own nuclear arsenal. We would re-enter the agreement in good faith. We would invest in clean water, education, and infrastructure, not warheads. We would stand not above Iran, but beside it, ready to collaborate, not conquer. Iran doesn't need nuclear weapons. Neither do we. The only people who benefit from this cycle of escalation are billionaires, weapons manufacturers, and politicians who profit from fear. Ordinary people, both in Iran and in the United States, suffer, starve, and die in the shadow of conflicts we never asked for. And so I return to the original question. What do we stand for? Not just as Americans, but as human beings. I choose to stand with life, with empathy, with the dignity of nations who want what we all want, a future, a voice, and the freedom to exist without threat. I don't want to rule the world. I want to live in it alongside others in peace. And if that makes me unpatriotic in the eyes of this empire, so be it. I would rather be called naive for loving too widely than be remembered as complicit in violence I knew was wrong.